The first component that we'll test is our add comments component. Analyzing the comment box component, we see that it takes three properties. Is comment blank, which is a boolean that will be set true or false depending on whether or not there's any text inside of our comment box. A value, which is literally the text that's inside of the comment box. And a handle change method passed down from the parent component, which is used to update the value and ultimately determine if the comment is blank or not. And if we go down inside of the component, we can see there's a class name here. And when we look at props.isCommentBlank, if it's true, then we add this red border around our comment box. And also, if that is true, then we add this span with the text, please enter a comment. Now that we understand the flow of our comment box component, we can start writing tests for it. To get started testing our comment box, we'll add in the following. We'll import React as we'll be using JSX. We'll import the render method from the React testing library. And finally, we'll import the comment box component itself. Next, I'll add a describe block to wrap all the tests that we'll be writing for the comment box component. And also because we know that we don't want to call the handle change method inside of our tests that's passed down from the parent component, we'll create a just mock function to handle this functionality. For our first test, we'll verify that when there is no comment inside of the comment box component, that the error messages are displayed. Next, we'll add the following. So we'll use object destructuring to pull off the debug method and get by placeholder text methods off of the rendered version of our comment box component. Then we add the following code here on line 12 and 13. So in order to grab the comment box, we're going to use get by placeholder text, and we're looking for this specific placeholder text, add comments. So if we go back to our component on line 23, there's a placeholder set equal to add comments. Next, what we'll do to verify that we are grabbing that specific element in our DOM, we'll use the debug method, and what we can do is pass in our comment box so we can see if this resulting element is the element that we're expecting to find. So now we'll save our file and then run npm run test :watch. And as you can see, we get the resulting DOM element that we expect. Next, we want to grab the error message. So we'll delete the debug method that we currently have. And then we'll create a variable error message and set it to get by text, which we need to add that. And the text we're looking for is please enter a comment. Going back to our component, we should get a span with that text. And we'll call the debug method again, this time passing in our error message. If you also notice on line 12, we're not using the comment box at the moment. And because we're using TypeScript and the way we have it configured, if we try to run our code, it will not execute because it does not allow you to have unused variables in your code. So we'll comment out the comment box for the moment. And also now we're not using get by placeholder text, so we can just remove that for the moment also. And now we can save and run our test again. And we get a span with the text, please enter a comment. So now that we have both of our elements that we need in order to run this test, we can uncomment the comment box and reinsert the get by placeholder. And now we can start making our assertions. So we'll make two assertions. I'll remove the debug method and also from here. We'll expect that our comment box will have the class border-b2, etc. And we'll also expect that the error message is in the document. So now let's save, and our test will rerun because we're in watch mode. And our test passes. And just to be sure that we are testing what we think, I'll do something like add an extra character to this add comments, and now it should not find it and therefore fail our test. We get that expected result. Now take that away, and then also for class, let's add an extra comment there, and we'll expect it to fail again as it cannot find that, and it fails as expected. So we remove that back to the original state, and our tests are passing. For our next test, we want to verify that when a user enters text, that the handle change method is called. Specifically in our case, our mock handle change method. To mimic a user typing into the text box, we'll pull in the user event module, paste in this snippet of code, and so we'll use the debug method to verify that we had the expected output. We'll use the getByPlaceholder text method again, and then we'll render our CommentBox component. For the handle change property, we'll pass in our handle change method, which is our mock handle change method. For isCommentBlank, we'll pass in the value false. And for our value, we'll set it equal to the string test. And then as we did in our previous test, we'll create a variable CommentBox and use the getByPlaceholder text to grab that component or that element by the text add comments. To simulate typing into the text box, we'll create a variable test comment and set it equal to the string test comment. And now we'll use the user event to type into our comment box the string from our test comment variable. Then we can use our debug method to verify that we're getting the expected output. So we'll save and run our test. And we see we have our text area. And notice that the value in our text area is still test, which we explicitly set. And it's because, as you remember, the handle change method in our rendered application is passed down by the parent component. But in this case, we're just writing a unit test, so we're just mocking out the functionality of our handle change method. So now we can make our assertions. So we'll expect that the comment box does not have the class border-b-2, etc. We'll expect that our handle change method has been called, and we'll expect that the handle change method has been called the number of times equal to the length of the test comment, because each time a user types into the text box, for each letter, the handle change method should be called. So now we'll delete our debug method, so we no longer need that, and we'll save and rerun the code. And our test is passing. To verify that we are asserting what we think we are, we'll take the not away and see what happens. And our test fails as expected because the component does not have that class. So in summary, we created two tests for our CommentBox component. One, to verify that when no comment is displayed, that the error message is shown. And the second test, when the user enters text, the handle change method is called.